What's up, everyone, and welcome into the Buffalo Sports Collective. It is Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. As always, I am PK alongside my co-host. Producer Pat is here for episode 384. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Buffalo Sports Collective, and on X and Blue Sky if you still use it at Buffalo Sports Co. Don't forget to follow our channel wherever you listen to podcasts, including YouTube. You can see our beautiful glasses-filled faces. It's always fun doing a video podcast with glasses. You can see all the reflections and the lights and all the behind-the-scenes stuff. You can check out our website at buffalosportscollective.com. The man who is working on all the stuff we've been talking about is on the show, so we'll be able to question how the progress is being made. Put him on the spot on the episode, and look for the time breakdowns in the description of the show. We got the Bills losing another one back-to-back heading into the byes. We got the Sabres kicking off their wonderful, glorious season 0-3. This is why we're taking a step back for Sabres coverage, because I'm going insane. We got a trade in the NLL. CBA sounds like it should be coming up very quickly, ? And then Real Bandit, Fake Bandit, is back. It's making its illustrious debut back. I should say return, not debut. But as we kick off every show, you're filling in for Phil. So I'm going to ask you, and you can stick it just to a week. You don't have to go back as far as your last time you're on a show. But, Producer Pat, welcome back. And how has your week been?
Thanks. It's been busy.
Just a little bit.
I was in London for a little over a week.
London, overseas, not Canada.
Was in Canada. Flew out of Toronto.
Not London, Canada, though.
What was that? Not last Friday, but the Friday before. Left work, shot up to Toronto to catch a flight. Flight was delayed like 45 minutes or so. Took off. 7-8 hours later, it's Saturday morning in London. Absolutely exhausted. And then spent the week seeing all the different like touristy sites. Pretty much like all like the basic stuff that you would see in London. Buckingham Palace, and like 8 other different palaces and castles.
Did you see the king? Did you see the king?
No, he wasn't in.
Oh, okay.
Which I learned that how to tell if the king is at Buckingham Palace or not.
Spoilers? Spoilers.
It's it depends on the flag that's over Buckingham Palace. Did not know that. Didn't know that they had multiple flags.
I feel like that's a bad thing, though. Like, it's telegraphing, hey, the king is home. Come knock on the door. Or the king's not home.
I think he's a big enough figure that most people probably know where he is at most times.
That's probably fair.
But yeah, was there, got back Sunday. Was pretty much awake for like 24 plus hours to not fall asleep too early. So that way I was trying to minimize the jet lag. And I think today I am just finally getting back to normal, mostly.
So you're not one that can fall asleep on planes?
Oh God, no.
That is fair. You're too big for the seats to begin with. I think everybody that listens to this more frequently knows I pass out before the plane even starts taxiing. So like the trip to Vancouver a couple weeks ago, Brooke hates me when I'm on flights because I just crash and then she's my pillow. Because I'm always stuck in the middle seat, but that's a suffering. But I will say 3 of the 4 flights, nobody was next to me. Did you get a benefit of nobody was next to you at all, or were you crammed?
So both flights, I was in the aisle seat.
Okay.
My wife was generous enough to take the middle seat. To London, there was nobody next to her, and on the way back, it was full.
It's a plus.
On the way there, I got like some melatonin gummies or whatever, because I heard that that's supposed to help you sleep. And it said to take them about a half hour before you're ready to fall asleep. And like we were waiting to board. She's like, do you want to take them now? And I'm like, no, like, I want to wait till like right when we're about to take off. Like I don't want them. to take them and then like start to fall asleep and then wake up for takeoff, and then I'm just screwed. So I did that, and then our flight was delayed. And then like, we were about to take off, and then I'm like trying to fall asleep, and it just didn't happen. And then I think I dozed off for like 45 minutes, and then they came around with all like the snacks and drinks, and then I was just awake for the whole flight.
Yeah, that stinks, especially since it's that long of a flight. Like when we went to Italy a couple of years ago, I don't remember any of it. I never got my meals because I was asleep through it. They just put it in front of me, and then they came by and took it apparently. But yeah, I'm one that can crash. But I'm glad London treated you well. Can you give a nice British accent?
No.
Oh, dang.
I don't want to get canceled on her.
Cheerio.
My first appearance back in like a year or so.
So my trip, my week was not as exciting as producer Pat's. I stayed in the country, I stayed in the state, and in my own house. I was supposed this episode right here wasn't even supposed to be happening. Phil's up in Maine, and that's why producer Pat's filling in for him. He's taking the Phil role here. I was supposed to be in Houston, Texas, and then I think we talked about it in the last episode. Our buddy John in Texas decided to buy a new house and then close the week I was supposed to be there. So I'm not there. I'm here. But I did not go back to work on the day I was supposed to be in Houston. So I've been off for the last 4 days. Just kind of relaxing, doing some projects around the house. I am watching Phil's cats, though. So I was over there on Tuesday. Only one of his 3 popped out. Actually didn't even know where Cass was. He was in the window, and I'm looking all over, and then I was just like, okay, maybe if I just sit on the couch and watch TV for a bit, it'll draw the cats out, and it didn't. So I was like, okay, I'll just go check on their food, and then I saw this tail wagging in the window, and I went, that's a cat over there. And then it was Cass, and then I couldn't find the other 2. So I'll be back Thursday to check on them again. But I'm watching Phil's cats. Phil, if you're listening to this, get a new key and a new set of locks, man. I was jimmying that door for 5 to 10 minutes trying to get in. I even called you and you didn't pick up. It's one of those ones where if you put it in too far, it doesn't work. And if you pull it out too far, it doesn't work. You got to like find the perfect spot. And then every time I found the perfect spot, I turned it the wrong way to unlock his door. And it was a whole thing. So yeah, PSA, Phil, change your locks. Otherwise I'm going to break them.
We could just run to Home Depot, grab a new lock.
That is true. I know where his spare key is. We'll just do that.
Send him a bill.
Phil, don't listen. I'll scratch all this out. And then last Thursday, it's almost a week ago at this point, went to the Sabres home opener. The Bandits were nice enough to allow. I guess this isn't nice. They made us suffer by allowing us to have 2 Sabres tickets per ticket that you have. And you were able to pick seats in the 100 level. And the wife was supposed to come with me, but she sprained her ankle on Wednesday and didn't feel like she could walk from the casino to the arena. So I took my dad and made him suffer through me, but we were in the 100 levels. The only positive I can say, and we'll get into the Sabres in a minute, the new security system to get in, holy cow, it's awesome. Like, you don't take anything out of your pockets. You literally just walk through it, and if a sensor goes off, there's a secondary thing where then you take stuff out of your pockets, and then you walk through another metal stand. It's literally you don't stop, you just walk through the doors. So as soon as people start getting the grasp of that, where you just walk, it's going to go so much quicker. It was still so much quicker than prior years, but it's literally by the doors. You just walk through it, and then you go to the line to scan your tickets. It was so quick, and it'll be even quicker when people realize, hey, I don't have to stop here. But I know they still have to paint the floors and new seats and actually a real hockey team on the ice, but the security system that they now have in place, absolutely loved it. I'm looking forward to it for the Buffalo Bandits games. I know you haven't experienced that yet, but
No, not yet.
I can't wait for it. And another thing I can't wait for is the bye week for the Buffalo Bills, because holy cow. Yeah, I'm pretty good at these transitions now, producer Pat. Bills versus Falcons just happened on Monday night. They lost 24-14 in an absolute puke fest. The only good parts of the entire game were the 2 opening drives in the first half and the second half. They go into the bye 4-2, second in the division. I'll start with you, producer Pat. I know you said before the show you only watched the first half, which is understandable because you flew across the world. But What did you think, at least, of the first half, or have you heard any comments on what has happened to our once beloved Buffalo Bills that had Super Bowl aspirations?
Yeah, it was. I felt bad that I didn't get to watch the full
Don't feel too
game, and
bad.
then when I woke up and I saw the score, and I'm like, oh. And then I went through and looked at our football chat, and I was like, oh, like I guess it was a blessing that I fell asleep. It's but like that opening play where it was overturned, but the fumble recovery, I was like,
Yep.
okay, like even
That
though
was
it was
massive.
overturned, it's like we're coming out swinging. It sets the tone, and that tone didn't seem to last very long.
Yeah, it was the wrong note. Yeah, it was it got ugly pretty quick. Everything seemed that could go wrong was going wrong. You hit the nail on the perfectly. Falcons got the ball first, and the first play they caused a fumble, and Gregory Rousseau was offsides. It was just unbelievable. And then the first offensive drive, they finally throw it downfield, and it's a completed pass. And then just everything crumbled from there. Allen went 15 of 26, 180, 2 and 2. He did not play right. It seemed like when he got sacked that one time, his hand was hurting him because he was not right the rest of the time. For some reason, Cook still got 17 touches. I don't know how. He went for 87, and then he just wasn't on the field anymore. They're like, yeah, we don't need a Cook in the kitchen. Bijan in London put up 299 yards in the first half. I guess from what you did see, was there any good parts that you saw of the game?
Didn't feel like it. I was struggling to keep my eyes open just because I was, still on London time. Yeah, not really.
Yeah, that's very fair. I think the few notes I have of the good were Walker is a legit player. He's a fourth round pick that they took. Rookie, played 80% of the snaps. He was an absolute monster. He was one of the very few players that even bothered showing up in this one. If he can continue to develop, I said it on a previous show a couple weeks ago, he's great in the run game. And if he can hold off and allow Ed Oliver to be Ed Oliver, especially with Daquan Jones going down now and TJ Sanders not in the lineup and so on and so forth, I think he's going to be an absolute steal where they drafted him. And if he can continue to develop, he could be one of the best defensive linemen this team has had in many, many years. It could be one of the very few hits Brandon Beane's had on the defensive line. The first drive in the first and second half by the offense, flawless. I don't know if it's just the offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, can only call plays that are pre-scripted, or once he starts going off script, it's like a story that nobody wants to watch. It's a with B league or C level actors, but it was terrible. And then the defensive adjustments after that long Bijan Robinson touchdown, where they went 81 yards and Cole Bishop kind of just ragdolled off of him down the sidelines. They made big time adjustments. I mean, the next was turnover on downs. Then it was a 6-play punt. Then it was the end of the half. Yes, they got lucky because London stepped out of bounds. It hurt me more because he was on my fantasy teams all over the place. But 5-yard play in the second half, or 5-play, 8 yards, second half. Then they got the block field goal. Then it was a 3-play punt. And then they finally got a field goal. Buffalo's defense made the adjustments and were able to shut down Drake London. We're able to shut down Bijan Robinson. I know a lot of that is Atlanta doing it to them, but I thought the defensive adjustments that they made were great, and they did enough for Buffalo to get the win in here. So with as many question marks that I do have on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm not absolving them of their issues that they do have. They are piss poor at tackling. They commit way too many penalties. They're not enough talent, and they're very injured on that side of the ball. But for as many negatives as they had, they did enough for Buffalo to get that win, and the offense only put up 14 points. So with the flip side of this, did you see any bad things that stood out for you in this one? Because I have a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking at your list here, and it's a lot longer.
Yeah, it's more than doubled.
Yeah, it's I don't know, just seemed like we couldn't get anything going, and I don't know, like it just makes me like question everything that I keep hearing about this team. We're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender, and it just don't look like it.
Yeah, I mean, I already mentioned it. I'll go over the defense because I don't, like I kind of already hammered it home. I don't have a ton of things on the defensive side of the ball that we didn't already know going into this game. DeQuan Jones gets hurt in the warm-ups. Congrats. Another injury on that side of the ball. Then Terrell Bernard gets hurt. Benford loses some game or misses some plays, and he does come back, but it's an ACL tear or Achilles injury, I believe they had it listed as. So they were already missing pieces on that side of the ball. So you're already down to your third and fourth linebackers. You're playing out Tre'Davious White out there, and Jamarcus Ingram comes in at some point. The defensive line's already hurt. You got DeQuan Jones going down, so they only have 3 defensive tackles to even go. So the injuries were already stacking up on the defense. In 29 combined penalties in the last 3 games. The defensive side of the ball was bad, but we already knew that going in. It's not something new. It's not something we haven't talked about on this show multiple times. The offense, though, they have major issues with this, and I even put out a tweet on our account trying to have Old Takes Exposed go after Brandon Beane for what he said with the receiver room. It's not good enough. The wide receivers cannot get open. Josh Palmer finally gets a deep ball, makes the catch, and then is hurt in the second quarter. Dalton Kincaid is not even playing in this one. And for some reason, you don't have James Cook in the game at all. But with the receivers, they just can't get open. And this is not also a new thing. We've been saying it for multiple times here. If you don't want a number 1 wide receiver, like Stephon Diggs, for example, who could have been nice on this team, I get it. That's fine. That's your prerogative. You can run a team however you see fit. And if it works, it works. But it's not working right now because there's not a go-to wide receiver. And I thought that could have been Dalton Kincaid. You saw in the New England game how good he was versus New England. He was incredible, and we finally thought he was turning that corner. Then he gets hurt, and he didn't play in this one. But they need somebody on offense that can get open and make Josh Allen's job easier. That's my number 1 part of this. Second one is James Cook isn't even in the game. And if you want to take him out on third downs, that's fine. But that 3rd down and 1 call, I thought we learned our lesson with the Dawson Knox jet sweep around the corner there from last week where it turned into nothing and it ended up being a fumble. Then they're like, okay, instead of the tight end doing that, let's give it to our quote-unquote speedy wide receiver to do it instead of our 6'5", 250 quarterback just doing a tush push. Pat, I don't know if you saw all this stuff in the offseason about the tush push being banned, but Buffalo was one of the teams that was big on trying to get it banned. You have Josh Allen, who was elite in it, and then Kansas City comes along and he can't go to the right, and for some reason, they don't want to do it. I don't know if it's just they're taking a stand against it for this injury type of excuse that they use. But when you have a player like that, why are you handing it off to a jet sweep wide receiver around the back? It goes back to what we said last week. The offense is just trying to get too cute, and they're acting like they're smarter than everybody else when they put up 14 points, and it's proving that, no, you're actually not the smartest kid in the classroom.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
That's the best way to put it. It's frustrating because on top of all that, they had 0 answers to the Falcons' blitz, and they blitzed, I think it was like on 56% of the dropbacks. How about a halfback screen? How about some quick passes to, just slants? How about some slants to Khalil Shakir? He's your big-time wide receiver that you paid in the offseason. James Cook, again, I keep hinting at this, but James Cook is on the sidelines for how many of these plays? It makes no sense why you pay him this amount of money to be that bell cow back. The first drive of the second half, it was all James Cook getting him down the field, and then you go away from it. His last touch in that game was with over 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That can't happen for your number 2 biggest threat on offense. It was so frustrating. And again, I think I talked about this on last show when they lost their first game. To me, this is still a team that, in my opinion, is going to win the division. I know Patriots right now are in first place in there, and I know Drake May is coming along really well. But when you have Josh Allen, you're going to win the division each and every year as long as he remains healthy. I'm not worried about the division at all. Now I'm worried about them being a one-and-done team in the playoffs. And I'll have to look back at my bold predictions, but I'm pretty sure I had them as a one-and-done in the playoffs. Phil had them not making it to the Super Bowl for one of his bold predictions. I'm pretty sure I said they would be a one-and-done in the playoffs. It's turning out to be like that. And this isn't – all these issues, again, are stacking up where it's not like you're going to be able to just go out and get one type of player to fix it and, put a Band-Aid over this. There are so many levels of this that unless Max Hairston comes back and he's an instant upgrade in the cornerback room, unless Jordan Hancock or Jordan Poyer is electric in the safety room, unless Keon Coleman somehow builds up on his speed and can actually catch a pass down the field, unless Josh Palmer is not as hurt as he was and can take that next step that he has never done in his 5-year career, unless they involve James Cook on 100%. Like, there's so many things that need to be worked out for this team to actually be a Super Bowl threat now. I am at this moment, and I know I did it a couple years ago when they lost to Denver. This is not a Super Bowl winning team. This is not a Super Bowl contending team. This is a team that's hoping to get past that first round of the playoffs right now. I don't think there's any way, unless they really put a giant Band-Aid over this in the first in their bye week, that they're even going to be able to get out of the first round of the playoffs, let alone the number 1 seed.
Now, do you think that this is more of a player issue or like a coaching issue?
I think it's both. I haven't liked a lot of the coaching decisions that Joe Brady has done on offense, but you can only do so much with the players that you have. And I've said it on multiple times on this show. I have not been critical enough of Brandon Beane, where I've been probably overcritical of Sean McDermott. Now my attention's solely on Brandon Beane and the team he has built. Yes, he builds it for what Sean McDermott wants, but I mean, there's just no wide receiver talent on this team whatsoever. You drafted Keon Coleman. Nobody should be expecting more than he was. Even Phil and I, who are not draft analysts, knew going in he's not a player that's going to take over the offense, and he's going to take slower to build into the lineup here. I think it's a combo between the players are not skilled enough and the coaches are not doing a good enough job coaching up those players that are on the field. Again, it's a bad combo of both, and in the end, it's going to be Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane at the helm of this, because I think even Sean McDermott said it. You can't rely on and keep putting this on Josh Allen over and over and over again and ask him to do it. If he doesn't have a miracle game, I don't think Buffalo wins moving forward, because yes, the schedule's not super tough this year, but you still got Kansas City coming up. You still got Philly coming up. You still got New England one more time. It's an easier schedule than in the past, but based on how you're playing right now, again, I still think they're going to win the division, but it's dark times with Buffalo sports right now. That's I'll put it like that.
Yeah, we haven't had like true dark times in a while.
For the Bills, yeah.
Which I think that makes this harder.
Yeah, and they also didn't get much help around the league. Broncos win, so they moved to 4-2. Colts win, they moved to 5-1. Chargers moved to 4-2. Patriots 4-2. Pittsburgh 4-1. Jags do drop down to 4-2. Baltimore's down at 1-5. But Bengals dropped to 2-4. But the Chiefs, the pesky little Chiefs, are now 3-3 and getting Rashee Rice back. The league did not help them very much right now, and I believe, if I remember correctly, Buffalo would be sitting in the number 6 or 7 seed if playoffs started today. Again, long season to go. They're only 6 games in of a 17-game schedule, but it's one of those things that you can't just fix with the Band-Aid, and I'm a little nervous moving forward with this team. Mm-hmm. But we'll move on to another glorious. This is why I don't want to talk about this. It's going to be a very quick hitting piece here. Buffalo Sabres. I don't think you did because you were out of the country. Did you see any of the Sabres? Okay, he's shaking his head.
I just saw the scores of the games and kind of shook my head and like, oh, that sounds about right.
Yeah, Thursday, the game I was at, 4-0. They decided not to play the whole first period, and it was still only 1-0 because Alex Lyon bailed them out. And then they decided to hustle it up and try to play the second and third periods, and it just mistake after mistake. It was small mistakes, but they add up. Saturday, they lose 3-1 to Boston. I get to watch that game. It looked better, but again, they don't play the first period. And then Monday versus Colorado, they lose 3-1. That was their best performance of the year through 3 games. I thought they played all 3 periods, but you could tell based on what was on the ice and what they were going against, they are still not playing the same sport as Colorado Avalanche. Lyon, to me, has been very, very good. You're finally getting good goaltending. He is the only reason they're at where they're at right now. Those games could have been exploding like 7-1. Offense has been absolutely horrible. Josh Norris gets hurt on a face-off in the first game he's back. Benson's still not back yet because he took a puck to the face and ended up in the hospital. It's the power play is still horrible. I mean, Phil said it on the last week's episode with his bold takes that they were going to be over, I think, over 23%. They're 0 for 11 right now. Do you know what percentage that is?
I'm not very good at math, but I'm going to say 0.
That's at the ding 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 ding. Correct. Hang on, I got a button for this. I don't know if you've been here. There you go. He gets the round of applause. Dang it, I forgot. I'm gonna have to add that in the audio later. But oh well. Yeah, their penalty kill though is perfect for 11 for 11. So they're good on half the special teams. When they're a man down, I would suggest them committing penalties every single minute of every single game now, because that's the only time you really be able to play. But it's just, to me, and again, this is why we're not going to cover this team when we go to 2 episodes. It's probably going to be once a week or once every other week. But it's because we're just one episode a week now, we're kind of hitting the quick pieces here. It's going to be a long season. There's 79 more games to go. I'm officially declaring it right now. It's October 14th when we're recording this, but you're going to listen on October 15th. The season's over. They're not making playoffs. It's funny when you trade one of your best offensive pieces in J.J. Peterka, try to replace him with the often injured Josh Norris, who gets hurt taking a face-off in Game 1, where your offense goes. They've scored 2 goals. And I will say, I was joking with my dad the whole way to the game on Thursday, and I went, hey, they haven't even released what the goal song is. I guarantee they're not going to score and nobody's going to know what the goal song is. Guess what? They lose 4-0. It's just, if I'm you, because I know you're a sports fan that follows it, but not as stupidly as Phil and I do.
Much more casual.
I would strongly advise you and everybody that you know that might have slim interest in watching the Buffalo Sabres, go watch paint dry. Watch anything else but this team. They do not deserve your attention whatsoever. And I know Tage Thompson said, we're not trying to live in the past. I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. Imagine the fans who bet. I haven't seen a playoff game since I was in high school, man. Mm-hmm. Like, we were in high school the last time this team made the playoffs. It's going to be 15 years since the last time this team was in the playoffs after this year. They're 0-3 already. You needed this team to get off to a hot start, and they're already 0-3. Can they salvage it? Yeah. As soon as pigs learn to fly, they can salvage this season. That's why this whole conversation right now is why we're not talking about the Sabres religiously on the show anymore, because I don't want to talk negatively constantly, and people sure as heck don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, I always joke with you that when you have your Sabres rants, I always feel like you're yelling at me.
How'd it feel in person?
Not as bad as I expected. I think you were pretty calm. I think you've had 15 years to get all the anger out. Yeah, every year around this time, I'm like, I kind of want to get back into the Sabres. Like, I remember, just all the good memories for like when we were in high school, and I like watched like a game or two, and I'm like, oh yeah, like there's no point. Like even our Bandits Sabres tickets that we can like redeem, I'm like, do I want to go? Like, it's free. It gives me something to do on a night out, but like I like you said, I could be watching paint dry. Yeah,
it's been a season, and I've said this. We've been doing this show for 4.5 years now, coming up on 5 next year. I've said it for I don't know how long. If fans are mad at you and people go on podcasts and rant, and although you think I'm yelling at you, I'm really not. I'm yelling at the team. If you're still getting that type of response, that's good, because it shows people still care. When you get people that just don't say anything anymore, like they're tuning you out, they're not criticizing you anymore, they're not going on Twitter or Facebook or whatever to just blast your name all over the place, calling for your head, that's bad. That means they do not care. That means they're fully checked out. That means they have no faith in you. That's where we're at this point, because I saw Pat Moran, he put out a tweet, I think it was on Monday, after their loss, and he said, I was on Facebook going through all my friends. I didn't see one mention of the Sabres getting booed off the ice. And that's not good considering it's October 15th. They don't even care anymore. And I know they were fire Adams in the arena. Even if you fire him, I don't trust the leadership group there to put the right person in place to get this thing fixed. He was a cherry-picked one. They didn't really even have interviews. Shocker, they're still bad. It's just I don't have it in me. And again, that's why we're cutting back on the Sabres coverage, because it's just the same thing on repeat over and over and over again. So I will tell you, that might be my last rant on the Sabres for a very long time, unless something really shockingly stupid happens. But every time I think they can't hit rock bottom, there's another level to it. Remember last year, they scored an own goal while man advantage in their own end. Don't forget about that part. It can get worse, Phil or Pat. It can get so much worse. Do you have any more Sabres hot takes before we move on with the episode?
No, let's go.
Welcome to the depressing time of the Buffalo Sabres. Does it feel as good listening or being live, or both? Does it hurt just as much?
It's a little surreal. Like I feel like I'm listening to the podcast, but I get to chime in.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But what isn't bad is our one and only sponsor of this episode is Tap That Tap Room. They're at 363 Delaware Street in Tonawanda, New York. Buffalo's first woman-owned self-pour bar featuring 30 consistently rotating taps. They offer a variety of beers, ciders, sours, seltzers, and malt beverages. And since Phil's not here, I'm pulling double duty. And they're also pulling double duty at Tap That Tap Room Wednesday the 15th. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, it's still time. If you're listening to this any other day, come back next week. They're still doing it. 7:30 every Wednesday. It's the normal Geeks Who Drink trivia. Make sure you check out Tap That Tap Room's Facebook page, because they'll give you a hint on what the trivia is going to be about. Friday the 17th, 3 to 7. It's happy hour. The whole beer wall is discounted. I know producer Pat is a big drinker. He loves partaking in different types of drinks. I would suggest going to Tap That Tap Room 3 to 7 on Friday, because you can find your new favorite. And then stay from 7 to 12. It's DJ Nightlight. They are there every single Friday, and it's different music every single week. So it's not like you're going to go there back-to-back Fridays and hear the same thing. There is no Bills game this coming week, so it might be the perfect time to hit up the tap room. If you aren't a big fan of crowds, it's not like a downtown clubbing experience at Tap That Tap Room. It's a more subtle environment. It's a self-pour bar, so there's really no bartenders or like cliques or trying to get into the bar. Producer Pat's been there. He was part of the takeover we had for the Buffalo Bandits earlier this year. It's a fantastic environment. So even if you're a little skeptical, because I know you and I are kind of in the same realm, and I know Phil is there, if you've never been to a certain place or tried a certain thing, having a ton of people around might be a little bit more overwhelming. So with no Bills game, and hopefully they're not showing any Sabres games on those TVs, the crowd should be a little bit lighter. So if you've never been to a self-pour bar, this might be the perfect opportunity to head down there, because it's not like there's going to be a ton of people there judging you silently, even though they don't do that, trying to figure out the self-pour bar. But I know you've been there. Real quick hot take. I guess not hot take. Input from you. Is self-pour bars your new favorite type of bar?
Yeah, it's nice. I like to try new things, especially like with food and drinks, but I don't always want to order something I've never had before and then just not like it. So like the times that we've been there is like, oh, I'll have a little bit of this, have a little bit of that, try some things that I might normally wouldn't try. Yeah, they're a pretty cool place to hang out and just have a drink, watch some sports, have a good time.
See, I put him on the spot, and none of that was written down or any of that kind of stuff. So, again, we only have sponsors on the episode that we love ourselves. We both love them. So if you also want to love them and fall in love with them, head over to their Facebook page, find out what other events they have coming up, and to find out what's on tap and what's on deck, check out tapthattaproom.com, because they have something
for everyone.
Oh, I thought I was going to get you on that one. I always try to get Phil. He's better on top, but you're pretty quick on that one. So congrats. You've been listening to the episodes. We'll move on. Final segment here. CBA sounds like any day. Sounds like the season is going to be on time. Sounds like they're making calls to letting players know what when to expect training camp to kick off. I do not expect any players to show up to training camp without them getting paid, but it does sound like it's all good. Maybe by the time you're listening to this, it's already signed, sealed, and delivered. But right now, I'm at the 90 to 95% positive that everything's going to be on time. Everything sounds like it's good. Again, it's just stupid that we have to wait so long for this to get worked out. I know you've been following a little bit because, again, you've been overseas, but what are your thoughts on how you, at least from the outsider's perspective, sound like the CBA has been going? Is there any frustrations or anything from an outsider's perspective on how the CBA has gone?
I wouldn't really say too much frustrations, but it has seemed kind of like a roller coaster. Like with the end of last season, like we knew it was coming, and it's like, okay, yeah, they'll work it out. It seems like, the NLL has been growing, that, more viewers, and I just kind of put it in the back of my head and just kind of, listen to like the little tidbits that you and Phil would bring up or share in our chat. And then it seemed like things kind of stagnated. I think was it last week you guys were saying that like the last like few months that there was hardly like anything like accomplished.
Yeah, the
been, like,
negotiations halted from like March to September because they needed to do other things.
This seems like a very important thing. I don't know why. It's bad when I'm saying that you're procrastinating. But yeah, then kind of started to hear a little bit more, and I was like, okay, yeah, this seems like a constant like normal back and forth. And then what was it, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where it seemed like that it didn't seem good, and people were actually like talking about either like a delayed start or canceling some games, and I was nervous then because I think you guys also said last week that the NLL can't really afford like those type of hits right now, and seeing some of the stats and tidbits like behind the scenes stuff, that it kind of did have me worried, like what would happen to the Bandits or the league as a whole if this doesn't happen on time. But it seemed like some of the stuff you shared today that things are mostly good now.
Yeah, it sounds like it's signed in pencil right now, and they keep erasing it and using whiteout to try to get everything fixed. But I am interested to see, because I'm positive it's probably going to get leaked, what the CBA actually looks like. To me, the longer the better, with some clauses in it that if the league or the players reach this certain level, then you unlock another part of the CBA. I don't want to be doing this and sitting behind a mic and trying to come up with fancy new ideas for the CBA or the episodes leading up, because we haven't even had free agency yet, and the season's supposed to kick off in like 6 weeks. It's insane. We got to squeeze so much into a little time frame here because the NLL and the CBA is all jacked up. But move on here. Hopefully it's all signed, sealed, and delivered, and next episode we can dive into it. But not counting my ducks in a row. Is that the saying? Chickens before they hatch? That might be the better way. We'll move on. Trade. Rob Hellier goes to Ottawa for Cam Dunkerley, Dustin Burkhoff, and Andrew Dalton. Not Andy Dalton of the Cincinnati Bengals of a long time ago. Andrew Dalton. And a conditional 2026 second-round pick. I absolutely love this for Ottawa. They finally get a righty to pair with Jeff Teat. If Riley O'Connor comes back, you actually allow Jacob Dunbar to play in games. I still hate you, Ottawa. My bold prediction would have been completely correct if you actually would have played him. But it pushes Connor Kiernan down. It pushes Jacob Dunbar down. Tager Clark's already out the door. It gives you a legit number one option on the right-hand side where defense don't just have to or can't just shadow the lefties with Jeff Teat over there. Jeff Teat's going to have a legit threat on the right-hand side with Rob Hellier. Does that push Ottawa / New York, because it still goes back to New York days, into the playoffs? I will not be fooled again. Ever since you screwed up on my bold predictions, and then you screwed up with Phil's prediction, and then you screwed up Jacob Dunbar. I hate you, Ottawa. I hate you, New York. I do not wish bad upon you, but I will never trust you whatsoever. But any thoughts on Rob Hellier going from San Diego to Ottawa? Because it kind of makes you question, what does San Diego do, and what type of performance can Ottawa put out there with an actual offensive juggernaut with the righties now?
Well, despite all your hate for Ottawa, I think they might be my like second team that I want to root for.
Is it because of their logo and their name, or Is it
No,
just
I
Jeff
think
T?
that like the Riptide, I think that they were finally starting to get a little bit of traction, and
Okay.
then they moved, and I, I felt bad. So now it's just like kind of like like little like kid brother that you're trying to like root for, that you just want to see them succeed.
Very fair. Yeah. What we've learned on this episode, I know we don't do it here, we do it in hypothetical history, but at the end of it, what have you learned? Pat's a closeted Ottawa Black Bears fan. I've learned that.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't think you can buy an Ottawa Black Bears jersey, but you can buy a New York Riptide jersey on clearance on NLL Shop, because Castor's
$10
still
or
not out
something?
there yet, but you can still go buy a really cheap jersey. That's how I got a Halifax one in my closet right now, because it was like $20. And don't tell Brooke, she doesn't listen to this episode, but my cart on NLL Shop is so full. If they drop prices one more time, you're going to get me. So NLL, if you're listening to this and you want to make some more money, just drop prices a little bit more. And I got a whole shopping cart list of jerseys because I got ideas for them, but I'm not paying $50 for a jersey. I'm going to wait until it drops to like 30. If it's 30, I'm going to buy all of them. So
I'm super interested to see what that is.
hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Ottawa, our league. If you want to make a little bit extra cash, drop it a little bit more. Move on. It is that time. It's my favorite time of the show. It's my favorite time because we haven't done this in a while. I think the last time I hosted something like this, it was Real Bill, Fake Bill leading up to the NFL draft, because that's what we do here on this episode. We don't cover draft analysis. We play fun, stupid little games like this. But this was invented, even before this podcast existed. We played Real Athlete, Fake Athlete, where we would just toss. If you're just listening to this first time, we've played this game years and years and years, where I or Phil or anybody else would just toss a name to producer Pat, and he would test to tell us whether it's a real athlete, a fake athlete, and if it is a real athlete, what sport they play. So we had a little twist to that. Here, we're playing Real Bandit, Fake Bandit. And this is not current Buffalo Bandits. This isn't even a couple years ago Buffalo Bandits. I went to the vault on, is this a real bandit or a fake bandit? So all you have to do, producer Pat and everybody listening at home, it's very simple rules. You can play it at home. You can play it along on the way. You just have to give us TM credit for it and give us $50. Just kidding. You don't have to do that, but we do accept cash bribes. And I did say bribes a couple years ago. Bribes, gifts, whatever you want to say, just send it over to us, DM us, and we'll give you our Venmo account. I'll give you my personal one, not the company one, because I want the money. But it's real simple. I'm going to list off one name. All you have to do is let me know, is it a real bandit, a fake bandit? And producer Pat, you can't cheat. I can see the reflection in your glasses. I'll know if you Google this name. So everybody at home, when I list this name, just let me know if it's a real bandit, a fake bandit. And if it's a fake bandit, this is the fun game. You get to tell me who you think this person is. So we'll start right now. I got 6 names for you. I'm going to let you pick numbers 1 through 6. Let me know. And again, this is on my own special doc. You don't even see these names. I made sure when I uploaded it, I deleted all this from it. Name numbers 1 through 6 is a name. Let me know what number you want.
First off, I realized this shortly before we started recording. Is this payback for tricking you with trying to guess your weight and measures stuff from a few weeks ago?
No, but that's
Okay.
just more sweet. Yeah. Producer Pat likes to play a game where he takes pictures of gas pumps, and I get to try to figure out what gas pump it is. And he cheated the other day by sending me a picture of a scale. And I was going absolutely insane for 15 minutes. Not replying. I did not reply to you, but I saw your message when I was recording because my phone's right here. I saw it pop up. And for the last 15 minutes of the episode, I'm going back and forth in my head. And I can't remember if this is 2 or 3 weeks ago, but you can listen to it. I'm scatterbrained the last 15, 20 minutes in the episode. And it ended up being a scale and not a gas pump. And it hurt my brain so much. Your wife was in cahoots with you.
It was her idea.
Yeah, that's even worse. I can't trust any of the producer Pat's clan over there. The whole household is in cahoots to get one on me. So I'm getting even here. Producer Pat, 1 through 6. What's your first number?
We'll do 3.
Number 3. Okay, I'm highlighting the name. Oh, that's wrong. I can't count to 3. There's 3. The name. Are you ready, Producer Pat and everybody else? I need acknowledgement. Okay, there it is. There it is. Mike Thompson.
Ooh.
Real Bandit, Fake Bandit.
Such a generic name.
Oh, there's a theme to this.
Is it all just the most boring names?
Let's just say every first name is very generic.
I'm going to say Fake Bandit.
Is there a reason why you think it's a fake bandit? Like,
No.
what's your thought process behind this? Is it like flipping a coin in your head?
Kind of. Yeah, you said it like isn't even like somewhat recent. And all the older players I'm not very good on.
This is also another reason why I went more in the archives. I went to the spreadsheets that we have over here. But Producer Pat is going Fake Bandit. And I do have a drum roll here now. So here we go. Incorrect. He's a real bandit. He played with the Buffalo Bandits from 2007 to 2012 in 89 games, which is tied third most for a goalie. He was 31-16 with 1,849 saves, which is fourth most for the Buffalo Bandits. So, Producer Pat, you're 0 for 1. You will never forget the name Mike Thompson again. But that is number 1. Producer Pat is 0 for 1. Hopefully everybody out there knew Mike Thompson was a real Buffalo Bandit. Producer Pat, numbers 1 through 6, not number 3.
5.
Number 5. Highlighting it, making sure I don't go through numbers again. David Hunter. I would encourage everybody to go to YouTube during this section because as soon as I say the name, it's like a thought bubble goes up, but there's nothing in the thought bubble right now. It's
It's like I'm looking up for the answers.
Yeah. I love this game. We really gotta patent this and like create like a board game or like a digital version of this where we can just put names of sports athletes in there and just. I think it would work. I think it would be a hit.
Yeah. Let's quickly cut this out and we'll just go to the drawing
Well,
board
TM.
and-
That's all you have to say, right? TM.
Yeah.
TM.
I'm going to say Real Bandit.
Real Bandit. Is there a thought process behind that one?
Sounds familiar.
Okay. Sounds familiar. Well, we'll go to the drum roll. Fake Bandit. I don't know where you thought his name came from, unless you are a fan of file cabinets, because he is the inventor of the file cabinet from 1902. So, Producer Pat not only is a closeted Ottawa Black Bears fan, he loves file cabinets, and that's where he keeps his fandom of Ottawa Black Bears, because he apparently knew David Hunter, but didn't know that he was not a real bandit.
Yeah, checked it. My file cabinet doesn't have Hunter on it. I was wondering if maybe that's where I got it from.
Did it have David on it?
No, it has nothing on it.
That's fair. That's another generic name, though. So David Hunter, you won't remember, or you won't forget this one. He is not a real bandit, but he is the inventor of the file cabinet from 123 years ago, which is still. My house was built before the file cabinet existed. Think about that. It's. Jeez, I just came up with that. But Producer Pat, you're 0 for 2 right now. What are your thoughts? Because you got to get if you get an over 50% here, you need to get these next 4 correct.
I'm nervous now.
Are you?
Before I figured I'd start off okay. Like my expectations were I was gonna do bad because I figured you'd just be out to get me and find the oldest, most obscure players. Yeah, pressure's on.
Pressure is on, and what's even more fun is normally I go through these names myself. Now I'm allowing you to pick which one I'm listing. So this is 100% all on you. Numbers 1 through 6, not number 3 and not number 5.
6.
Number 6. Highlighting it should be easy because it's the last name on my docket here. Mike Powell. Mike Powell.
Why does Powell sound so familiar? My initial thought was Real Bandit, and I've been bad so far. So Fake Bandit?
Is this your final answer?
Yes.
We'll go to the drum roll. I'm always too quick on that. You are correct.
Woo.
It is a Fake Bandit. Mike Powell is actually a long jumper. He holds the record for the longest wind-assisted jump of all time, which is, I didn't actually look up how long of a jump that is. That probably would have been a fun statistic. He won the gold medal at the 1993 World Championships, and he won the James E. Sullivan Award and the BBC Overseas Sports Personality of the Year in 1991. Producer Pat, you are 1 for 3, and now you know who holds the record for the longest wind-assisted long jump of all time.
Just don't know how far that is.
Well, let me try to Google this really quick, because I'm actually very interested in Mike Powell. This is great podcasting. Mike Powell. Long jump. Okay, that's in meters. Wow, okay.
Do a quick conversion.
I can't do the conversion. You think I would be able to?
What is it?
It is 8.99 meters. Oh, he's click-clacking over there.
29.494750 feet.
Wow. That's far. That's
Almost 30
insane.
feet.
That man jumped 30. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you said it was wind assisted.
Still, it's not like he's behind a jet. Maybe he was. We'll have to look into this. We'll look for the video. Mike Powell, longest wind-assisted jump of all time, making producer Pat 1 for 3. Please let us know in the comments or just DM us how well you are doing right now. But number 1, 2, or 4 for your next Real Bandit, Fake Bandit.
1.
Number 1. And again, producer Pat has no information, inside knowledge beforehand. He's looking at an Excel spreadsheet or a docket right now that does just nothing but Real Bandit, Fake Bandit. Play along at home. Mm-hmm. Chris White. Chris White.
Chris White.
Real generic name. Told you.
Yeah.
It's a common theme. No hints, no nothing.
Fake Bandit.
Fake Bandit. Is there any thought process behind that one?
It's too generic.
Too generic. We'll see if it was too generic. Too early again. It was too generic, but he was too generic of a Buffalo Bandit. He is a real bandit. He played with the Buffalo Bandits from 2005 to 2012 in 116 games, which was 10th most for a Buffalo Bandit. He had a season high with Buffalo with 11 points in 2011. He also had a career high with the Buffalo Bandits in loose balls and caused turnovers in 2011 as well, with 84 loose balls and 18 caused turnovers. Chris White was a real Buffalo Bandit.
These, what, you said it was 2012 was when he stopped?
Yep.
When did we really get into Bandits? Was it like 2017?
I think that's when we got season tickets.
I know we probably sprinkled things in.
Yeah, sprinkle things in along the way. Yeah.
Yeah. So really, you're picking before my time.
I will say, though, it had you or anybody else out there that's not big on history of the Buffalo Bandits, his name has come up multiple times in my fastest milestone minute. But I'm so lightning quick with that. You might not have ever heard his name. It's just like
I've told you before that I think you go too fast.
That's why we named the fastest milestone minute in all the land. Still looking for sponsors. Number 2 or number 4. He's sitting 1 and 4 right now. Is lucky number 4 the number, or divide that by 2 when it's number 2? 2 or 4?
I'm gonna go 2 for my second correct answer.
Okay, number 2. We'll have one more after this. Jason Crosby. If you're not watching at YouTube, you have to watch this segment on YouTube. I'm highly encouraging it. It's great.
I'm going to go Fake Bandit again.
Fake Bandit. Can he get to number 2 with lucky number 2? He cannot. He is 1-5. He was a real Buffalo Bandit. I am stumping all over the place. He actually had 2 stints with the Buffalo Bandits from 2003 to 2005, and then again 2006 and 2007. 49 games with the team. He had 81 goals, 106 assists, 187 points, all with the Buffalo Bandits. All 3 are top 25 with the Buffalo Bandits. His best season was in 2004 when he went 20, 30, and 50 with the team. Producer Pat is getting stumped in Real Bandit, Fake Bandit by yours truly, PK. It is a glorious time, and I'm getting sweet, sweet revenge for the game you played on me a couple weeks ago. I was in your head then, or no, you were in my head then. Now I'm in your head with just names of people. I love it.
So how many? What was the current number of real and fake?
That's for you to guess. It's 3-2 right now. 3 real bandits, 2 fake bandits. Now, the game begins. Did I go 3-3? Did I go 4-2 because it's called Real Bandit, Fake Bandit? Or am I just in your head right now and this is just a bandit that was a real bandit and a fake bandit? You don't know. And I will not ask you for the next number because the number is 4. The number 4 is on the docket here. And that name, for you either to go 2-6 or 1-6. It's a big difference here. I almost shut you out completely, but I couldn't. Eric Schmidt.
If it's easy for you to get into my head. Real Bandit.
Real Bandit. Is that your final answer? And why did you go Real Bandit?
Because my initial thought was Fake Bandit.
Great logic there. Hopefully everyone at home had a great time playing Real Bandit, Fake Bandit, and we're about to find out. Did he go 1 for 6 or 2 for 6? I was so close to shutting you out. He is a fake Buffalo Bandit. Producer Pat went 1 for 6. He is actually a senator for Missouri. And he was married in 1999, has 3 children, he's 50 years old. That's pretty much all I wrote about him. But, yeah, he was a fake bandit. He's just a senator sitting in Missouri right now. Has no idea he was on the BSC.
We should find him and tag him.
Tag him in this episode? Yeah.
And he can be disappointed in me.
How did you not know who Eric Schmidt was of Missouri? But that was Real Bandit, Fake Bandit. I had a great time. Did you?
I just feel dumb.
I love it that you had a 50% chance on the correct answer or real answer. I win.
That's how it goes. I did way better doing Real Bill and Fake Bill from home.
Yeah, you have. You have in the past. I'm glad this game made its illustrious return to the show. It's a staple on this show, and we do not have it on near enough. The only times we really have it on are during Bandits or Bills draft coverage. That was my first screw up the episode. Bills Bandits. But that pretty much wraps up this episode. Producer Pat, thanks for jumping back in the shoes of the co-host chair.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we'll have you back on. I know you had a lot of behind-the-scenes issues with the mics and the cameras and recording and everything. But how did it feel back to be behind the chair filling in for Phil, who's off on a nice vacation? Why, PK here still has not missed an episode, Phil. Still has not missed an episode, and I'm doing all the interviews too. So I'm putting in the work, Phil. What the heck are you doing vacationing off in Maine?
Not seeing Puffins.
Not seeing Puffins.
But yeah, it felt weird. Like I said, it's like an interactive podcast episode. And I don't get to be behind the microphone very often anymore.
Let me ask, is that something you want to be behind the microphone more often, or is this like a spare fill-ins?
I'm probably okay for a little bit.
That's very fair. That's very fair. But that will conclude this episode. Producer Pat, thanks for joining us once again on this great episode 384, I believe it was. I'm not scrolling all the way to the top. But we'll be back next episode to break down the bye week for the Buffalo Bills. We'll break down some Sabres games, maybe. We'll find out. Who knows? I'm not really interested in it. And then maybe we'll have a CBA to talk about. If not, we'll have to come up with another fun Bandits idea because they can't negotiate and come up with a CBA. So as you can see, I'm kind of fed up with it, and I'm hoping there's a CBA negotiated and talked out. So thank you all for listening to another episode of the Buffalo Sports Collective. Thank you to Tap That Tapper for sponsoring this episode and this podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Buffalo Sports Collective, and on X and Blue Sky at Buffalo Sports Co. If you're still on Blue Sky, let me know, because, God, nobody is. Visit our website at buffalosportscollective.com. Follow our channel wherever you listen to podcasts, and make sure you check out and leave us a review on Apple and Spotify. Until next time, bye-bye.